There you are again. We're so happy you're here today. And we're here. We can't hardly wait for this show tonight. Well, tonight, wherever you are. Our special guest is such a delight. I've just known her by the telephone, and I can't wait for you to meet her too. But let me introduce everyone first because I'm getting too excited here. I got to slow down. Of course, our wonderful Marian LaSalle, who does all of our technology work and is our brains. Say hi, Mary.
I'm the brains now.
Brains.
Oh, you guys are in trouble.
Work and our brains.
Somebody has their it was Peggy Sue. She accidentally had us going on in her YouTube channel, and she can hear the feedback, so she'll be back.
She'll be right back. Anyway, well, we'll introduce her in a minute, but let's go ahead and talk with, well, I forgot to say who I am. I'm Lady Lou, the baby boomer babe, and this is our Wisdom Chats for the Curious show that we do on Tuesday evenings, and we just always have such a blast because we're coming on in conjunction with the Wellness Expo that's going to be in the Houston area at the beginning of September. Good Lord willing, we're hoping it's all going to come off because of this crazy coronavirus, but we're excited to be there. And our special guest tonight is Terri Groom, just like the word bride and groom. And she just told us she recently married, so we're so excited to have her today. She is one of the most delightful ladies I've met in a long time. So say hello, Terri, while we're waiting.
Hi there. Hello.
Sorry about that. I had no idea that was going on.
Hi there.
Hi, Terri.
Hi there. I'm so excited to be with you all tonight. Thank you.
We're excited too. So I'll go ahead and introduce you real quickly, Peggy. She had a little technical glitch and she's back. Peggy Sue is going to be the moderator, or the MC, I should say, for the Wellness Expo in the Houston area in September. And we're delighted to have her on tonight. So take it away, Peggy.
Okay. Well, I'm delighted to be here as always. I love Tuesday nights. And as we're doing on every Tuesday night right now, we're talking to the fabulous people who are going to be vendors and speakers at the Wellness Expo, which will be Labor Day weekend, September 5th and 6th in the Conroe area at the Lone Star Convention Center. And so it's going to be a fabulous event. And tonight, Terri is actually going to be coming down for the expo from the Dallas area.
Absolutely.
Which is one of the really exciting things for me, Terri, is getting these Houston people and Dallas people together. You know,
I completely agree. It's very exciting. It certainly is the right time for that merge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And by Labor Day, I think we're all going to be ready to be in some energy, together's energy.
Yes, I can feel it coming. Yes.
Yes. So exciting. And I believe we're headed in the right direction for that. And I think what we're doing here with these shows is help manifesting that. So I want to thank both Lady Lou and Marian for making this show happen on Tuesday nights and for becoming a part of this Wellness Expo.
Yes.
And Terri for joining us tonight. I'm really
thank you for having me.
Hear what you have to say, girl.
Oh gosh, I am too. I wonder what's coming out of my mouth next.
That's funny. Terri, do you are you also part of the Dallas and the Houston Expo?
I sure am. Yes, I am very excited to be a part of both of the Wellness Expos. And I'm so happy that we were able to make this all come together in spite of our change within our society this year. And I know it's going to be a success in both areas.
Absolutely.
Oh, so we're ready.
Yes, we are.
So we have somebody in the audience who's admiring your hairdos, ladies. Yeah.
Karen. Uh-oh, gonna get the hair out of my face. There we go.
Peggy Sue and Lady Lou styling.
We're styling, baby.
Beautiful.
Yes, this is my COVID-19 no haircut for a couple of months.
Oh, that's funny. Well, it's looking mighty fine, I gotta tell you.
Thank you.
And Glenda says hello, everyone.
Hi, Glenda.
Oh, there's Bobby.
And Bobby's looking forward to her first, his or her? Is it a his or her?
It's a her.
It's a her. Her
Bobby
first podcast.
And I told her I would ask a question for her. of Terri. So let's
Hi,
just jump
Bobby.
into that.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, because you are an animal communicator, right?
Yes, I am. It's one of my favorite tasks. Yes.
Okay, well, Bobby is just a fabulous humanitarian type woman, and she has adopted a rescue dog, an adult rescue dog.
Yes.
And God love her, this poor dog wakes her up howling at 3 o'clock every morning.
Yes.
So
making
sure.
Go ahead.
Trying to figure out why.
The main reason is this wonderful dog is just trying to make sure that hasn't been left alone. It's a calling. It's like, hey, I'm here. Are you here? Wait, I'm right here. It's making sure that she hasn't abandoned this dog, and so it's got into a repetitiveness with this. And one thing that would help is if periodically, even if it's just the times that you get up to, go use the bathroom in the middle of the night, just say, I'm here, just reach out with a voice so the dog starts feeling settled into that energy. It's really about anxiety right now.
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of rescue dogs have anxiety.
Absolutely. And a fear of abandonment. So the dog just wants to make sure it's not abandoned.
Okay.
And oftentimes these dogs, in a curious way, do tend to have a more fear as it gets into the latter part of the evening and the early morning hours as well. So it is something that you can work away from, and you can teach that it's not necessary, but it is from an anxiety, from an anxious side.
Okay. All right. So that's good. So if she has more questions and really wants to tap in, Mila is the dog's name.
Oh, hi, Mila.
Really wants to tap into Mila and find out some more information.
I would love to visit with her.
I know you do phone sessions, but can you do animal communications remotely?
Absolutely. I do them all the time. Some of my best friends are shepherds and pit bulls and collies. I just love them all. So absolutely. Reach out to me, vitaperceptions@gmail.com. I'm happy to help. It's one of my most favorite gifts.
Okay. And could that be a 10-minute complimentary session?
Oh, sure. You bet. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's great. Okay.
Love that.
Great. Well, I know that Mila and Bobby are going to be fine together.
Yes.
But it's a process. It is a process. And especially with rescue dogs. You just never quite know what's happened to them.
Right.
So, but maybe you can help her with that.
Well, and I'm more than happy to work with her. I feel that there's a few little situations around that she can that have caused some of that anxiety, and we can talk about how to rectify that as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
Dogs learn.
Yes, they do. It's learned behavior. That's exactly right.
And what percentage of your business, Terri, would you say is animal communication?
Well, what's fascinating oftentimes is when I sit with a client, it's not clearly defined where we're going next. It just starts one way and then it goes off and trails into, if they have pets, then we usually discuss them and then go further into it. I would say those that come to me specifically and only for pet communication is about 15 to 20%.
Oh, okay. So quite a bit.
Yeah.
And what would you say is the bulk of your practice, the majority?
As far as working with the animals or working in general?
No, just working in general.
Well, I do a lot of, I'm a medical empath, so I do a lot of work with that field, and I do get a lot of requests for that. I also am a medium, and so we talk a lot about how to make those connections, especially during this troubling time with all the stress that we have. And so a lot of it, especially now, has been mediumship reads.
Gotcha.
What's a medical intuitive, and what do you do? How do you help people?
And being a medical intuitive, it's very interesting how it all manifested for me. I would start feeling the illnesses in my own body. And so, of course, I wouldn't want to keep them for very long because that's not a good thing to feel, to absorb that energy. But I started feeling that when I would sit someone, all of a sudden I would develop what they would have within their body. So I would say things like, you've got some neck pain that we need to talk about. Let's see why the pillow you're using is is rolled up under your neck because it feels like there's pressure, because I could feel it in mine. So I would start feeling and connecting on those levels. Now, it wouldn't be to the excruciating extent of some of the people that are facing great pain, but I would feel it in those body parts. And so it would help me to connect to them, and then we take it a step further and try to define what caused it, what to do about it, and take it from that point forward. I'm not a medical doctor. I always have to be very specific as a medical empath. I have to specify that in every single instance. But what's amazing about it is I believe that we're all connected. And for me, connecting on a medical sense, a medical line, is very, very productive for me. I have great success with it.
What would you say your most unusual case was?
Oh, gosh, let me think. Okay. Well, this was actually in pet communication. Okay. My most intriguing case was I had this adorable little schnauzer that came in, and that schnauzer sat in front of me, and I had no idea the name of the schnauzer. I don't ask much, from the client. I just want to, if there's the dog, if I have the privilege of being with an animal, then I'll visit with the animal right then and there. And I looked at the owner and I said, I'm not sure how you feel about this, but this little joy absolutely does not like chewy things. And I thought to myself, I'm thinking chewy things would be maybe treats, or maybe it's gotten one of the rubber bones that it was not, agreeing with the teeth. And so I kept hearing it from this dog, does not like chewy things. And the owners started to cry. And I said, no, it's okay. Everything, we can work through anything. What have we stumbled into that's affecting you? And she said, my dog's name is Chewy. Oh. Oh. And that was a curious spot to be in. So we had to work through it. And the happy end of the story was Chewy's diet had been changed. And Chewy's bed had been moved to a spare room. So do you see how Chewy did not like Chewy's things?
Interesting.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
So they moved the dog back to the regular place?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, see there, we don't like change, some of us.
We don't like change. And animals are very much the same.
Yeah.
They enjoy the repetition of life. So change is a scary task.
Yeah.
We have a question from the audience. Do you prescribe or describe medical issues?
Well, because I'm being I'm not a medical individual. Oftentimes I'll say, it'd be a wonderful idea if you would talk to your doctor about your low vitamin D. And it might be something that you two can have a good chat about. Or it looks to me that, the elbow that you injured when you were younger is starting to flare up. Perhaps maybe the doctor would know something about tendinitis. So I'm not saying you've got, but what I'm saying is there are conversations that you could have with the medical personnel that would give that indication for you. Yes.
Pick Marian.
That was fun.
Terri,
yes.
Terri, where does this information come from? Where is it being channeled in from?
Well, I have a philosophy, and I always start most of my readings this way. If what I've said makes sense, thank my guides, my higher self, those around me. If what I'm saying doesn't resonate, it doesn't make sense, then that's my fault because I'm not hearing it correctly. So I utilize a lot of clear senses, but I also recognize that I have a lot of guide energy that I channel that provide most of this. So oftentimes I actually prefer to step away a little bit from it, because otherwise I start putting human thought and my own personal opinion, and that's not what my readings are designed for.
If you don't understand channeling, or you don't understand how this type of stuff works, I have so many friends now that do it, and that that I know who they are. Okay, they're not making this up. Okay, because a lot of people are whatever.
Right.
No, I'm telling you, I have a friend who couldn't think thoughts like this. Okay, who couldn't say the words that are coming out of his mouth, and he goes into a meditation, and literally he is getting information from somewhere. It's not coming from him. I guarantee you.
Exactly. And
you know what I mean?
Agree. Yes. You know, it's, and sometimes, you know, it feels in a human sense, it can be challenging because it's not like you go and practice piano and become very adept at it because you practice the melodies every day. Every client is different. Every experience is different. You usually can't come up with the idea or the plan of action until you connect. And then when you connect, it gets very beautiful. Then the information comes through the guides and the channeling.
Right. And I just want to say too, we were talking about this before we came on the air, that sometimes, I mean, I can't tell you the number of times people have come back to me months, sometimes years later, and said, I didn't understand, I didn't believe that, whatever.
Right.
Now I understand, you know,
it makes perfect sense.
Because of this and this. So a lot of times when we appear to be wrong, it's just, you know, it's just too early.
Exactly. It's a timeline situation. That's what creates that.
Right.
You know, for a while I used to, I don't get it as much as I used to, but for some reason the guides wanted people to move around. They wanted people to move about. So I would have, you know, someone would say, do you see me living here or there? I'd say, oh my, you'll be in Colorado by this time next year. And they'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, that's okay, that's fine. And then they would move to Colorado. I had someone who moved to Florida. Of course, it was on the heels of a terrible flood. She did send me pictures of that, but nevertheless, she's very happy there now.
There you go.
So it's
so who would be the normal, well, not that we're any of us normal, but just an ordinary person who would come to you? What would that client look like?
Wow. You know, that's a very good question because they are from every walk of life. I have parents that will bring kids that will sit in with their children. And then after halfway through, they're like, you got this, I'm going, I'll step out into the room. I've had the very elderly people. I've had people that are trying to get pregnant, people that are trying to retire. It truly is a blessing because I do get people from every direction. And I'm very grateful for that. And, you know, and I play a little game with myself from time to time because I try to pick the person's energy. If I'm going to meet them in person by their text messages, I try to envision what they look like so I can see them. And if I see them coming through the door, sometimes I get a little playful because they don't know I know it's them until I go, hi, there you are. And they kind of are a little shocked. But so it's a blessing. I have a lot of different people.
Lovely. So what did Karen say?
All right, here's our next question. As an empath with repeat customers, do you ever have the medical issues appear in your life? If you found a cure-all for yourself, would it help your client?
Karen, you know, that's
question, Karen.
That's an amazing question. Oh my gosh, I hope no one else asks me those kind of questions.
Yeah, that's deep, Karen, okay?
I love it. Karen, thank you. That's a perfect question. You know, I do a lot of healing as well. And it's interesting because when I do my healing work, I try not to necessarily bring all the energy into my body when I'm healing. So when I'm working that modality, I kind of push that energy out of myself. So I don't get that firm attachment. Now, you know, that's a very valid question. I would feel sometimes, you know, like I have, if I get, say, for instance, like we'll go back to the neck pain I mentioned. Say I'm sitting with a client with neck pain and I can begin to feel it in mine. Well, I may start doing a series of exercises sitting across from them, and that will alleviate my neck pain. So I'm sharing it with them. Or out of nowhere, I'll say, I would really like it if that bottle of water that you put at your side on the floor, that you picked it up and started drinking it because you're dehydrated, and I'm starting to feel it in your hands. It feels like your hands are not as limber. And so there are ways that I can promote the ideas and help them to find, you know, again, a way to heal, you know, within themselves. So
I've got a wait a minute. I can just see you going. could you please go to the bathroom? I really think you have to pee now.
I know. Seriously, I've done
And would you
that.
go for me while you're there?
I know. It's a wonderful gift, but sometimes the guides are very humorous. They play with me, and I'll be like, "Don't do that."
I love that.
But
I love that.
But I do keep it in my energy long enough to try to assess how to help them. Whether that's just giving them, an idea to go see someone professional, whether it's to go get a new mattress or to shimmy in a new chair. So that's a great question. Hi. Thank you, Karen.
Okay, Terri, is your 10-minute free session on the phone or in person?
Well, it can be really whatever you need. Now, if I'm at my office, because I am going back to my office in Richardson, so I'm there certain days of the week. So if you want to reach out to me and you want to drop by, well, let's sit down and chat. If it doesn't work for you, that's no worries. We can talk again, Zoom, Skype. I'm getting very efficient on those, or phone. So it's up to you.
Okay, and also, will you be doing readings at the expo?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. You can't keep me away from that. It's one of my favorite things. Yes.
Peggy Moore says, are you able to look at a picture of an animal and feel something?
I am. And again, when I say I am, I want to say we collectively are. We are able to do that. I can look at a picture, and if I'm not, in the zone, which is I'm in the zone most of the time, then it's Terri looking at the picture. But most of the time, looking at a picture, I do. I can assess if there's, I get very animated, which is I'm sure kind of curious to people that are watching in the background, because I'll start trying to envision, where the pains are, if the hips are off, if there's a vertebrae out, maybe there's a toenail that needs to be filed down. So I'll start going through the animal's body in my energy.
Oh. Well, you're just delightful, Terri. We are so glad to have you here tonight.
Wow. You're so sweet.
And the expo is really, they're blessed to have you as well. I'm so excited we get to meet all of you as we come down. Lady Lou and I are coming to interview a lot of people and be in that energy. And I just can't wait to give you at least a side hug. You know what I'm saying?
I can't wait.
Elbow bump.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. There's this new dance. It's the elbow. It's the side. It's the shimmy.
It's the shoe. Yeah.
Heel to heel. Heel. That's right. That's the other one. Of course, my little trip with the heel.
So Terri, you'll have a booth at the expo. Are you also a speaker there?
I am. I'm a speaker, and I'm also doing a workshop. I'm not sure. I believe isn't that terrible? I don't even know which workshop. I believe it's the one locally, but I will definitely give a talk.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes, that's my.
So I'll be introducing you then.
Oh, good.
So I'll be getting with you ahead of time to get some information.
Excellent.
And that kind of
good.
Thing. But yeah, that'll be fun.
It will be. It'll be a lot of fun.
This whole thing is just getting more and more exciting as we've met so many of the exhibitors. But I have to tell you, Terri, you're the most fun.
Oh, I hope that's a good thing.
People seem nervous when they come on the show. They seem a little nervous about the video and everything, and we try to make them feel better as the time goes on, and they do loosen up. But you were loose right from the very start, so
it's all that Zoom practice and all that Skype woman. Oh, I like it. Don't tell my husband that.
I think he probably knows.
Yeah, he probably does.
Peggy Sue, are there still free tickets to the Wellness Expo?
There are still free tickets if you go to wellnessexpo.net and go to the Houston. Well, the Dallas one's in July, the Houston one's in September, but the tickets are free as of now. So yeah, get your ticket and come on out and party with us. Meet all these great people. One of the things I love about a situation like this is that you get to get in someone's energy and see how you connect, because, not everyone connects with everyone, and that doesn't make anybody right or wrong. It's just, you feel that connection with some people more than others.
Amen.
So having the opportunity to meet a lot of different vendors and practitioners and maybe things that you never tried before, it's value. It's invaluable. It really is.
It's a wonderful experience for everybody. I mean, there's just so much energy there. You just can't help but just mesh into it and love every minute of it.
Right.
So Karen wants to know what you do for relaxation for yourself to get your mind off others. Like if you're working with somebody and it's really traumatic, I mean, how do you relax after that?
You know, that's a great question. Karen, you're really good at this. You know, Karen, what I have a technique that I use, and I offer it, and I'm going to offer it to you all as an idea. What I do, because there are days, perfect example, this weekend I did 8 solid hours worth of readings, and that's a lot. I mean that's a lot. My ears were a little ringing after the headsets because I did them all online that day, and on the phone. The way I relax is every single time I go through an archway or doorway. Okay, archway or doorway. That's the car door. That's the door to the hall, the door to the front door. It doesn't matter. An archway or doorway. I envision I am clear and I am grounded. Because to me, I have a lot of, you know, if I'm doing a mediumship read and I've got a lovely grandma who's chatty and visiting with me, who's to keep her from hanging out with me and helping me with the rest of my clients, right? So I have to disconnect. So I'm clear and I'm grounded. And it helps me after a while because it's rote memory. I go through the door and I don't have to think about it anymore. It's a tool to refresh.
Great. I'm so glad you asked that, Karen, because
yes.
Don't we all wonder about that?
And it really does work.
Wow, that's fantastic to think that you have a system in place that works every time.
You know, I mean, it doesn't work for all things because I have personally been trying to go through the doorway saying I am younger and thinner, and it's not working.
Oh, God, I love you.
But I'm still working on that.
Well, when you find it, let us know.
Practice.
Exactly.
When I had workshops, I would oftentimes put a bucket outside the door, and I would ask people to just, you know, write down on a piece of paper before they came in the door anything they were worried or concerned about or whatever, and put it in the bucket.
Yes.
And then we go in and do the workshop, and at the end of the workshop, I'd say, now you're welcome to pick up your troubles on your way out, or you can just leave them here and I'm going to burn them all.
Yes.
Oh,
my gosh. We are kindred souls and spirits.
That's awesome. I
use the worry basket in my channeling class when I do them in person.
I love that.
Yes.
Peggy.
It's great, Peggy. Good. That's good.
All right. I have the next question.
Oh, good.
Now, this is a friend of mine. Her name is Beth. She has this channel on YouTube called Reseller Rowboat. So my question is, she buys things and then resells them. Okay. So a lot of people that want to get rid of stuff from their house, it's still good, but they don't need it anymore. And then my thought was, do you help people with their mindset, like clearing, like get rid of your stuff? It's causing you, you know, stress in your life. You need to. So keep her name and number, and then they can give all their good stuff over to my friend Beth from Reseller Rowboat.
I like you the way you think. We can do that. I'm going to help her out.
That's what I call networking, man. That's good. That's good.
But
she has like 4 or 5 different stores. She's got an eBay store and an ePosh or whatever it's called store and all these places. And she sells some really cool vintage stuff and really cool T-shirts. And she's doing some really good stuff. So if you are suggesting they get rid of stuff, and the reason I said that is that's me. I need to get rid of stuff now because I'm moving. Do I want to move everything I have that I've collected? No. I want to move it on out, right? It'll make me feel better.
Right.
That's a great idea. I would definitely love your friend's contact information.
Oh, did you hear that, Beth? She's listening.
Yeah, I would love that because really, if I go back to telling people they need to move away again, you're going to have a lot of good stuff. So we can do that.
All right.
No, but that's a good point. Yes, I'm happy to do that.
She said there's a lot of energy in the thrift shops, especially in the books.
Yes.
Oh, I imagine.
Well, you know, everything that we own, everything that we possess has an energy attachment to us.
Yes.
And, you know, that's why I tell people, you know, be careful how much stuff you keep because it's too much stuff literally weighs you down energetically.
Mm-hmm.
So especially stuff that you don't want or need.
Right.
You know like when someone passes away, like a parent or something, a lot of times that stuff comes in your house and you're like, I got to keep it because it was my mom's, but I don't really want to, you know.
Right.
That can weigh on you, huh?
Yeah, I had a client one time who had an armoire that was given to her by an aunt that died, and that was exactly, she hated it. She absolutely hated this armoire. And I said, get rid of it. Yeah, but my great aunt left it to me when it, like, you know, she's gone.
Yeah.
And
let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let it go. That's right.
Glenda has a question. She says, what does it mean that I love giraffes so much since I was a child?
Hi, Glenda. Glenda's in Florida, by the way.
Oh, I love Florida. Glenda, you know, it can mean a couple different things. What I would strongly recommend is that you Google search the energy that's associated with giraffes as a spirit animal. You know, we do understand, I'm being told that because giraffes see things from a higher level, they tend to look over into the tree lines. So it's kind of an overview. So in many of the things you do, you need the picture. You need the big picture. So that dynamic to you, it adheres to your energy. It's just the ability to kind of oversee things. They're very graceful, and there's a part of you that loves to be very graceful. And so a lot of that is intertwined in your energy, and also in some of the things that you're looking forward to in your, you're making some choices. So I would really recommend that you Google giraffes and get some really good feedback on spirit animals.
Oh, that sounds fantastic, doesn't it?
Wow.
Oh,
go ahead.
Beth says, and lots of energy in vintage dolls. And I have her contact information, so I'll be sure and get that to you.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Lady Lou, you haven't gotten a word in edgewise, don't you have? I know she's itching. You gotta go like this.
You're on.
I'll start waving. I'm a big horse lover. I have since I was a little kid, and when I was growing up on the farm, we had horses, and I just know I connected with them, and they would think like I think, and I would know what they were thinking, because you know we all got a little bit of that, don't we?
Absolutely. Well, the horse energy is that you're competent, you're compassionate, but you're also strong energy. A horse will run. It doesn't look to see who's running on the side of it. Its natural plan of action is to run the fastest. So it loves company, but it also likes to be on its own rules. It's very strong energy. So a horse is a wonderful animal guide, animal totem for you.
Yeah, well, the really totem animal for years has been a white tiger for me.
Ooh, sexy.
Oh.
and very different from a horse.
Yes, very different.
Yeah. So there's even a book out there. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the totem animals or something like that. You can look up on Google. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. There's a lot of wonderful, wonderful things we can learn about the animals. You know what I always like to mention to people, when you're looking at all the good stuff, remember there's always the flip side of that coin. So some of the traits of the animal that you might not really want to read as you're perusing through the internet, look at some of those traits that maybe you need, you know, as a person, whoever it is, might need to work on. Because animals can be like people. There's a good, you know, the one side of the coin versus the other.
Good.
Karen, listen to this. Oh. She wants to know, can you feel us now through this podcast? Can you feel Marian, Peggy Sue, and Lady Lou right now?
You know, Karen, I can, and they're very strange people. So,
well, okay, she's damn good, isn't she?
She knows. She knows.
Oh, God.
Well. Karen's a handful.
Well, we're all unique, let's face it. And if we embrace that, I think that's to our good, because we don't want to be like anybody else. What is it that you say, Peggy Sue, that something about
be yourself, everybody else is taken?
That's it. I love that.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to remember that. Very true. Wow. I love that.
Yeah, because too many people like that peer pressure, and I got to wear designer clothes. And I never wanted somebody else's name on my butt.
No, me neither. No.
I was talking about that the other day with a friend, because my son, who is now, he'll be 37 in August, but when he was in elementary school, he absolutely would not wear anything with a label, with a name or a logo on it. That was when Izod was real big. You know, he would not wear anything with, like he would wear Lee jeans, you know, or something like that. But no designer stuff. I mean, at a very young age, it was interesting, and it really made shopping difficult because at that time everything had So it was an interesting process.
I bet.
A smart boy. That's
Indeed,
right.
And he's a smart man too.
I bet.
But yeah, it was just I have, of course, I've always been kind of that way myself, but I don't remember ever talking about it or, you know, trying to convince him to be that way by any means, you know. Believe me, my life would have been a lot easier if he'd worn the damn lizard, you know.
Would have been a lot easier to find. That's right.
Okay, so Peggy says, can you feel what a person should be doing with their life?
You know, as a life coach, which is what I do also along with the mix of opportunities and tasks, you know, yes, and it's you see them hesitating a little bit with that. And the reason why, there are certain things that people should be doing with their lives that they have to find in their own way. And it's sort of like, you know, if we talk about past lives, they could be a tricky and slippery slope because there are certain lessons in life that we're here to learn them. So if we just go ahead and give the golden egg away on all those things, then the person doesn't have to work anymore. So the answer is yes, but there are some exceptions to that rule, because sometimes we fight what we're supposed to be doing in life, and having someone just say, no, you're supposed to do this, is only going to push you further away from it.
Oh.
So it does depend.
Hey, we're a breath of fresh air. Oh, sunshine. We're a breath of sunshine.
Thank you, Bobby.
Oh, it's been, and our time is just almost gone, and we're just stressed. We want to hold on to you.
We got time for one more question. Beth says, do you ever work with people who have OCD?
I do, actually. I do. In fact, it's an interesting question because on Sunday afternoon, I had a client for an hour and a half that suffers with OCD. And so, yes, again, we recognize there are certain things that are clinically driven, but we also recognize that there's techniques and tricks that we can work with our mind to obtain and make the OCD, what's the term I'm looking for? The feeling of being compelled to continue, the compulsion. Thank you, Peggy Sue. We can find a way to work around the compulsions. So yes, again, there are some conditions that, the modern medicinal world, they're, A plus on, but there's also ways of working with clients on that level.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic.
So good. Oh, we appreciate this. Oh, we're going to have you back on. Would that work?
Yes, please. I would like that.
Okay.
I tell you what would be fun would be to have a show where, we sort of gear the show toward people asking questions. I mean, I'd be happy to answer some questions too for people.
Ooh.
Oh, like a panel.
Yeah. Because I know both Lady Lou and Marian. Yeah. Y'all have great insight too. That would be a lot of fun to just have a show for questions.
That would be a lot of fun. It really would.
Well, we can
give you a high five virtually, Peggy Sue. High five. That's a great idea.
Well, we've got a date available during this wisdom chat session.
Okay.
There's one date that I haven't been able to fill with one of the exhibitors. So why don't we do that one?
Right.
Oh.
The 14th of July.
14th of July. Let's see. What is that day?
The Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
I love Tuesdays. And I don't have my day timer in front of me, but I'm going to say yes, because I try to keep Tuesdays open for new experiences in the evening. So that sounds like a great idea. Yes.
Okay. That date is filled then with that panel. And we can
get experience with us, baby.
All right. Yeah. Let's do this. I love it.
Oh, well, Marian, I'm going to let you take us out. And thank you so very much for being here with us, Terri.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for being, there for me because I love this. So thanks
It's
for
so
including me.
fun. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, don't forget. I shouldn't say don't forget it. Remember that the Wellness Expo is in Dallas as well as Houston. Just go to wellnessexpo.net. You'll be delighted by the people that you meet and the experiences that you're going to have. And Lady Lou and I will be there for both of them. We're going to be milling around, interviewing people, having fun, and we're just going to love it. And there's Peggy Sue. She's going to be the MC here in the Houston.
Yay!
It's actually the Conroe kind of area. It's north of Houston, but we still call it Houston.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you just go to wellnessexpo.net, you'll see all the free tickets that are available and everybody's information.
Excellent.
I want to thank Peggy Sue Skipper for being here every Tuesday night with us, laughing and having fun. And Terri, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Lady Lou, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Now, we got a special treat for you because Peggy Sue is going to be taking us out in a meditation.
Ooh,
so
yes.
Everybody just sit where you are.
Yes.
And
5
follow.
minutes.
Yeah, it's just a 5-minute one. And she's going to help us relax and bring us a different kind of energy. So just take your time and sit back and hang out with us, okay?
Yeah, and we'll all say goodbye now because we will be gone after the meditation.
All right. See you next week.
Thank you. Love all of you.
Okay, so if you've done this with us before, you kind of know the procedure, but for this particular meditation, I would ask that you just sit comfortably or lay down, close your eyes, let your mouth fall open a bit, and in this meditation, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth in deep rhythmic breaths, and focus on your breath, even more than my voice. Focus on your breath going in and out in equal measure so that you are balanced in your receiving and your giving of breath. And the next time you breathe in, see, feel, hear, sense this white, beautiful light that you're breathing in. And as you breathe it in, it saturates your body and cocoons your body. This beautiful white healing love light. And then as you breathe it out, you're sending it to me and sending it to everyone on the call. Breathe it in. Receive that love energy from us and send it out again. And as we send it out this time, let's cocoon the whole planet in this beautiful white healing love light so that all the plants, the animals, the trees, everything is being saturated and surrounded by this gorgeous love. And this love energy is an endless supply and always there for us. So as you go through a doorway, breathe it in. And as you walk into a room, breathe it out so that you're spreading this energy wherever you go. It's easy to do and it's very, very powerful. Just get in the intent of sending and receiving love. Breathe it in. Feel it grow stronger and stronger with every in-breath and send it out. Thank you. I felt that. Breathe it in again. Every time you breathe in, it gets stronger, whiter, brighter. And send it out to me, to everyone. Surround the planet. Visualize our beautiful planet being surrounded by this beautiful love energy. And we are portals to bring this energy to the planet. How cool is that? Breathe it in one more time. Let it fill you. Let it surround you. Relax into this energy and let it cocoon you. And one last time, send it out. And then take this energy into your night, into your sleep, into your dreams tonight, and wake up with it tomorrow morning. And know as you walk around tomorrow, you are still a portal for this love energy. Be conscious, be aware of it. Be intentional with spreading the love. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for sending me love and receiving mine. We'll be back next week. Have a great week.